guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Connector. I am your host, Aria Levitt. I surely say I am your connector, Aria Levitt. And people have asked me like, okay, what's exactly this podcast about? And so this podcast is about, I'm here to help you get connected to what you are looking for next to level up. So whether that may be another business, a person, an idea, a connection of some sort, I am here to help you figure out what that is. So, I had somebody write in this week. So if you do have questions and want to write in, definitely reach out to me at arieltheconnector@gmail.com. I love to hear questions and comments and see what's going on and like where you're stuck at and what we can do to figure that out to move you along a little bit further. So one of the questions that came in this week is, what do you do when you feel that burnt out from running your own business, that burnt out feeling? And that happens a lot. As an entrepreneur, I have had my own business for 10 years and I'm in the healthcare field, and anybody who's in the healthcare field can kind of feel the struggle with me a little bit because like things are constantly changing and cuts and this and things, you know, it's like before you know it, you're like, where am I? I'm credentialing with who? And I'm doing this with what? And it's a lot. So it can definitely give you that burnt out feeling. So what is that to like kind of get you out of that feeling? And I like to say is like, just go into expansion, go into that feeling of like, okay, what would make me feel a little bit happier, or what would make me feel a little bit more excited? So, and if for whatever reason, if you're not getting that in your business, it's okay to pivot. It's totally good. Like that's what we do as business owners. We pivot. And so you might be like, you know what? I want to try a couple other things, or I want to try a new offer in my business, but I'm like a little nervous how to do it, or what's going on with this. And it's so important to then decide to like, okay, this is where I'm going to pivot. And so what I have done is like taking a course. I've gone on to like a bunch of different courses. I can recommend like Kathy Heller. She's wonderful. She has great ideas of really finding your purpose and what feels good to you. And it's okay because we're in a very different day and age these days where we used to think we had to do this one job for like 50 years. And that's how it used to be. And now we live in a day and age where we don't have to do one thing for 50 years and you can do multiple things. And I had this great conversation actually yesterday with the Breakfast with the Broker. He's a podcaster also. He's great. And we had talked about like how people like have a business and then they decide they want to start the next thing that they like to do because they're feeling a little like, you know, draggy with that one business that they're doing, or they're just not feeling the same excitement. And they're like, I'm kind of like, this is kind of flowing okay. It's kind of going all right, but I'm ready to like do something else. And it's okay to have two businesses. As an entrepreneur, you have 2, 3, 4, 10, 15 businesses. Think of like Mark Cuban and Barbara Corcoran. Like they're all invested in 1 million businesses, right? Or at least a couple thousand businesses or a couple hundred businesses, right? Like they're invested in so many different businesses. So I say like, definitely see what else is out there for you. And it's not a side hustle. It's an actual business as long as you're making money from it, right? As long as you're pulling in money from that next adventure that you're going to be doing, it's a business. If you're just doing it and like testing the waters and seeing what's going on with it and not pulling any money from it, then it's a like, I guess you would say hobby. We're going to go with a hobby word on that one. But yeah, no. So it's very important that you make sure you make money from that side or the next business that you're doing. And it's okay to beta something like you're like, oh, I kind of want to like test the waters on this next thing, or I'm interested in doing my next thing. And it's really important to just like beta test something, just throw out an offer. Even if in your current business, like, hey, I want to go in this different direction. I'm not really sure. So throw out a small offer, see what the bites are, see what the feedback is. Feedback is so, so key. And to keep testing something and to keep seeing what it's going for. And like, that's how anything gets going, right? Anything we've ever done, like even the iPhone was definitely beta tested and then feedback. Oh, I don't like this button. I like a button. I don't like this. Let's swipe up. Let's press an app. Let's do this. This feels more comfortable for me. Like I like the rounded edges. I like the squared edges. And they would get feedback. And then that's how they decided to really build the iPhone or anything that we're doing. And so it is so important to make sure you beta test whatever you're going to be doing next for for your next business, side hustle, hobby. But I always suggest do a business, charge for it, have that energy exchange. It's great to throw something. It's great to have hobbies. It's wonderful, but it's also, if you want to have this as a business, make sure that there is a monetary value for that. Otherwise, you'll be just having fun with it and giving away your services for free. But let's take it back to the question, because I kind of digressed a little bit there, went all over the place and like went back and forth. I just like spewed a whole bunch of ideas and thoughts at you. So let's talk back to the question is, what do you do when you feel burnt out from running your own business? I also say a lot of self-care. Like if you're feeling burnt out, take a step back. Take some time out for yourself, go on a vacation, schedule up in a massage, go for a float tank thing. I don't know, whatever you want to do. The beach, we live near the beach, love the beach. Take some time to go to the beach, take a day, an hour, a couple days off if you even need to, just to like refresh yourself and feel better. And sometimes like best things I always say is like go around people that are going to keep you in that mindset. So like people that you know that are going to just feed you and lift you up and that are not draining for you, because obviously you're already burnt out. So you need to be with the people that are going to actually feed you and give you more energy. And when I say feed you, not like feed you donuts and, and cookies, but feed you that energy, because you're already feeling a little overwhelmed and a lot going on. And make sure you carve time out. As an entrepreneur, it's so easy to like continue working all the time, and you have to cut yourself off at some points. So like whether it be at 7:00 at night or the weekends, and make sure you take those 2 days off on the weekends or during the week. If you're like, I'm going to take a Wednesday and a Thursday off, make sure you really carve out that time to do that. Otherwise, as an entrepreneur and as owning your own business, you end up working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and you're constantly going. And before you know it, you're like, did I even stop to breathe? And it's very exciting because sometimes there's like so many ideas and there's so many things that you want to try out, and it's so good and it's juicy and you're like, yes. But at the same time, you need to disconnect. And when you disconnect and you allow silence, and like meditation is amazing for this, but when you disconnect for a little bit, you'd be surprised with how many more ideas and downloads that are going to come into your brain. Like you're going to be like, whoa, wait, what about this thing that I didn't even think of? And it just popped into my head. And that's when the best things happen. So like when you create space in your life and allow for just like openings, like when your schedule is too tight and you have everything booked out, like 7 to 8, I'm going to be eating breakfast. From 9 to 10, I'm going to be on the computer answering emails. And then from when everything is structured so much, there's no room for anything else to get planned, right? So when your day is structured so much, there's no room for anything else to just like pop up and be open and available for you. So it's so important to allow those times to be open and available for you. So make sure you time block at least some personal time for yourself, or take yourself out to dinner. Like that feeling sometimes is so nice. I recently, like past couple of years, I've decided to take myself out to dinner a little bit more. I normally was like, oh, I'll never eat alone by myself at a dinner table. Like, no, that's so weird. People are going to look at me and And it actually is like a really nice experience. It's really like fun. You get to just like sit there and watch what's going on, have like a glass of wine, or just order yourself an extra appetizer if you don't drink, whatever it is, right? Like you get to just indulge a little bit and treat yourself to something that you normally wouldn't do. And normally you have to share your food, or you have to have a conversation going. And so if you bring a book or just leave it on your phone, just like sometimes it's, scrolling, which is not the greatest idea on IG when you're trying to take some time for yourself, but I always say like sit, watch people, and just like take a minute, because you don't even know what conversation you're going to have with a waiter or waitress at the at dinner, and where that would lead you. But again, you're just taking time for yourself and allowing space. So if you are feeling overwhelmed or burnt out or whatever it may be, I highly suggest scheduling some time out and just allowing to see what else can come your way, or take a program that might spark some ideas for other interests of things. And it's okay to explore other options, even though you're like, oh my gosh, I'm neglecting my own business. But ideas from those things can spark ideas for your business, and it all works together. So, and it's all about whatever feels right for you. And it's an energetic feeling. So, if that doesn't feel right for you, then don't do it. But if it does, go for it. All right. That was a roundabout way of saying what is going on when you are feeling burnt out about your business. But, I hope that does help you and gives you a little bit of options and ideas and clarity on some things, or sparks some sort of like, oh, okay, maybe I'll just implement that, or maybe I'll just do that. So let me know what other questions you may have. And I'd love to discuss them and talk about them further. So to find me, you can find me at arieltheconnector@gmail.com. Email me there, or find me on Instagram. I'm very active, love being on Instagram, and DMing and connecting and all of the aboves with everybody. So if there's something that you are interested or want to know more about, feel free to message me on there at Arielle, ARIELLE oh my gosh, Leavitt, LEAVITT, and connect with me over there and see what's going on with everything, like events and stuff like that. Okay. Until next time. See y'all then.